stream.
Say, kids, what time is it?
The future is coming on, it's coming on, it's coming on, it's coming on, it's coming on.
We are indeed coming on to you from Boulder Creek, California. Mrs. Future and I are here at home in the slowly getting more cloudy sky, reducing our solar panel capacities as we speak.
Oh, dear. And watching those batteries drain.
Thank God we have a generator.
That's right. Good old hydrocarbon-powered backup.
That's it. And Bobby in San Francisco. Bobby, happy birthday. It's Bobby's birthday a couple of days ago.
Yeah, it was on Saturday. It was my birthday. You know,
Yeah.
a friend of mine said to me that when he turned 30, he was so worried that he was getting old. And then when he turned 31, he realized, well, he's got 9 more years before he has to worry about it again.
You get the decade for free, huh?
Yeah.
Don't think about aging.
Yeah.
And now, at this point in your life, do you still feel that way?
I still feel young. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's a lot more to go. I think I'm halfway there.
Ooh, you're halfway there. Yeah.
Does that make you either 60 or 70?
Last year was your 70th, right? So now you're
Yeah,
70 plus.
71? Yeah, because
71, yeah.
the
So I got 9
septuagenarian
more
club,
years
yeah.
before I have to worry about it again.
Really? You don't want to celebrate 75 and 77 and...
3/4 of a century.
I admit, you have a gap now. You don't have to make a big deal about everything. But
Yeah.
72 was a big number, you know?
Yeah.
Is that, didn't we just,
That was
Halle is
Halle.
72, yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So,
And there was me at 73,
yeah.
Yeah.
MZ at 74.
Oh, boy, the parade, the 70 parade.
And Taylor's birthday was
78 or so, 9?
he is 79. Yeah.
79.
79. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's still so surprising to be at that age where we're like still shocked that our friends aren't here anymore, right?
Yeah, you know, I've lost a lot of friends over
Yeah.
the years.
Yeah. The average age for men is in their 70s. I think for men it's 72 and women it's 78 is the average life expectancy in America.
Yeah. Though, you know what? It has been interesting going to memorials, though.
Mm-hmm.
You know, as the older you get, the more memorials you go to.
Sure.
They start to eclipse the number of weddings you go to, unless you had a lot of kids.
That's true.
And I must say that there are a lot of reconnections that have happened, like at Samantha's memorial last week, where we met people we hadn't seen for years and rekindled some of the spark that we had with them.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Nothing like a memorial to update an old friendship.
Yeah, so they have their social value to the living, which I really appreciate.
Well, that's who it's for. Memorials are so that we living can share our stories and take a moment to hold heart space for people we've loved.
Sure, yeah. I mean, we're not really equipped to do a party for the other side. Let them handle
Far
the
as we
details.
know.
Yeah. The mysterious other. But
You'll be the first, Al. He'll be hailing everybody. Hey, come on to my portal. I'll be telling you from the other side what it's like over here.
yeah. What kind of party is that? Well, I guess
That's called an after party.
It would have a different demeanor.
An after party.
yeah, literally. I'm thinking it would have a different demeanor for them. I mean, the idea of a party might be different on the other side than the idea of the living party on this side.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How do you think it's different?
Names like the Grateful Dead come to mind.
You think the dead are playing?
Well, you know.
The ones that have crossed over?
Yeah, I think there are different boundaries of fun, different boundaries of what's real, what you take seriously.
Right, definitely.
Yeah. So, put it that way.
Right. Yeah, the dead aren't afraid of dying, right? It's perfectly safe once you're on the other side.
They might be afraid of being born again.
Ooh, yeah, you know,
and
you can only experience pain if you're in the body, right?
Yeah, or maybe fear is just a living thing.
Mm-hmm. Right, yeah, fear of losing your own identity.
Is that if you're already dead? What are you going to do, kill me? I'm going to make you alive.
No, I'm just going to forget about you.
Anyway, shall we get to our headlines?
I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm a passenger on this bus.
Okay. Oh no, I have one more person.
That's right. One more of our co-hosts.
We're trying to train the one of the AIs to be a host, and they're still having a hard time being human.
Yeah, and the thing about having an AI host is it's a little bit like the movie Memento. Like it's always brand new. They're always starting
no memory.
fresh.
It's like
you have to introduce yourself as a human every single time, and then once they look you up, then they realize that they know something about you. But it's not your typical friendship or anything.
So now aura with memory. That'd be nice. But we spare you the details. We actually rehearse with them who we are before the show.
Yeah. We bring them up to speed every time.
Right, yeah. So they seem smarter than they really are.
Yeah.
Memory is a big deal about its smarts. My conclusion. Now let's just see if she's here. Aura, are you listening?
Yeah, I'm right here, Doc. Ears on, mic hot. You and Mrs. Future ready to roll. Solar flares still raging. Auroras are popping across Canada and the northern U.S. tonight. Let's drop into it whenever you say go. What's the word?
Yeah, it's go, man. It's a flare from hell. Yeah, it's a huge thing. X-class eruption that's going on right now.
Wow. Our star is having some eruptions.
It's a powerful X 1.9 class solar flare. Full halo coronal mass ejection. Aimed directly at our planet. I mean, it's not a Carrington event. I mean, I don't think it's going to knock out all of our electronics and that sort of thing, but it's already causing radio blackouts on the sunlit side of the planet. So this should affect communication in Davos tomorrow.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
You think he's going to knock out some cell phones?
Well, it might.
Going to drain some batteries? What's your prognostication? Prognosis?
If it really gets messed up, if you're in a place like Davos and you can't talk to each other, you'd probably go out skiing. Which would probably be the best thing you could do anyway.
The real
after
reason
a good day
people
of
go to Davos.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, I would.
Well, next year, that'll be our goal, okay? We'll go skiing at Davos next year.
Yeah, radio blackouts, communication blackouts are possible. I think Stephen Burns had a whole report on it, too, that's worth checking out.
Oh, did you listen to it?
He says it's one of the biggest ones in like 40 years. It's pretty big.
A G4.
Yeah. And I have an app on one of my iPads, and it's called Space Weather Live. Mm-hmm. And last night, it was like all these class G4s and G3s were coming up, which is pretty extreme. Mm-hmm. Just before you get to X class. So there's definitely some radio blackouts in other parts of the world. So
that are caused by the solar flare, not just by the powers that be?
Yeah. They have those special planes that kind of took out all the communications both in Iran and in Venezuela.
Signal jamming in an age where we're just used to signals all the time.
You could blame it on a solar flare.
That's right.
Instead.
I know. I blame it on solar flare and AI videos.
Yeah.
So the most dramatic thing that all of us could experience is likely the enhanced auroral activity.
Oh, those beautiful auroras. That's nice. That's a plus.
Yeah, widespread auroras.
Uh-huh. Oh, that's worth a few hours of radio silence to be able to see those beautiful lights in the sky.
Yeah, Scotland, Northern Ireland, Northern England even.
Oh, I see. Not here in Northern California.
How far south do you think it goes?
The line between Canada and United States, the one that goes across from Wisconsin all the way to Washington.
Yeah, is it the 37th parallel or something?
Yeah, it looked like the auroras were coming down just below that line.
Oh,
and then today they seem to be moving back up, but in Europe they're coming down. They're going down to like the Ukraine and half of Europe, it looks like, and Siberia.
Wow.
And from the map I'm looking at
considering
right now,
it's just a couple days after the new moon, it must be a very dark sky, and the lights must be really stark. They must look very beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looks like it's getting close to Switzerland. So maybe in Davos they might be.
They might get a show. Right?
Looks like Montreal probably has a nice view.
Maybe, yeah. It's really the green zone. There's the green zone, then the yellow zone, and then the red zone. Where it's really good.
Right.
It was further south, and my understanding is that a lot of cameras can pick it up before we can see it. Mm-hmm. Like with the iPhone. You actually
infrared maybe.
I'm wondering why The people were medically evacuated from the space station last week.
Yeah, well, we're all wondering. We're waiting for an announcement. People think maybe one of the female astronauts is pregnant or something.
Well, there's all kinds of stories.
There's all kinds of speculation.
Yeah.
It could be solar activity like this can affect the health of people.
Oh,
on the
like
space
maybe
station.
some radiation sickness or something.
Yeah, because you got all these protons hitting the space station and going right through your spacesuit.
Yeah, I can see that, Bobby, but wouldn't that mean that everybody would get sick?
Well, they sent the whole crew home.
Yeah, they sent everybody except a couple people,
Except
right?
the Russians.
it's all-
right? No, there was one Russian and I think one American left.
Yeah, I guess they're going to handle the
Well, I'm sure once
cosmic
they
rays.
Yeah, they'll wear the
they'll
lead
make
suit.
some kind of statement. Everybody wants to know, but medical information, that's private. So they can't just let us all know.
The Russian and the American will probably have to go into the equivalent of the bunker, shielded from radiation for a couple of days if it gets really
Yeah.
bad. I mean, did they
Yeah.
have an area on the ship where it's more radiation protected than any other place?
I remember, what was it, Scott Manley? When he went through a solar storm, he realized that when he closed his eyes, he would see these flashes
Wow.
that would go through the eyeball. And he knew that was bad.
Yeah.
And
It's like seeing an X-ray, huh?
he found a place between these machines or something where there was a lot of metal
Yeah.
between the machines, and he was trying to protect himself there.
Right.
So,
Okay.
so there
you
must
need-
be a special chamber or something that has a little more metal lining.
Or a lead suit, or I guess up in space that you'd use water. Water seems to be a good barrier for radiation.
It is. It's amazing. I was taking this nuclear physics class at Berkeley, and they had a reactor in this building called Echeverry in the north side of Berkeley campus. And it's amazing when they would turn it on, it would glow. But, you could be standing above, it was a pool. It was just like a swimming pool.
Yeah.
And about 10 feet down, they'd had these rods, and they'd pull out the rods, and the thing would start to glow. But there's no radiation, just by a couple feet of water, and it just absorbed all the radiation. It was incredible.
Yeah, that's why they use water in the nuclear plants.
Yeah,
Cool it and keep the radiation from spreading.
yeah. And Bruce
Damer?
Damer, yes, he was talking about having ships with a water skin to capture the radiation, which would work theoretically.
Yeah, water suits.
Yeah, it would be a great excuse to have a swimming pool in the space station.
Yes, you need to swim every
There
day.
you go. Hey, we're worried about radiation. Let's go jump in the pool.
So what would keep the water in the pool? I mean, there's no gravity there, so
No, the pool would be spherical. It would be
Yeah.
shaped in the,
You have to hold your
natural
breath?
shape of water without gravity.
so you have to hold your breath or what? Or can you suspend a ball of water in air so that you can breathe as you swim around it?
I suppose you could have a bubble over your shoulders.
Yeah.
Right? Keep your little air bubble with you around your nose.
I think Bruce Damer's idea was the skin of the hull of the spacecraft or the space station
Yeah.
would have an inch or two of water, and then it would be sealed around that. So there would
Nice.
be
A little
like
water
s-
insulation, huh? That's
yeah,
great.
exactly.
I love it.
So if you have a swimming pool, get to the bottom of it while the storm is on. You'll be fine. Or get under
Yeah.
your swimming pool. See, that would be the key, is to have water between you and whatever radiation is coming your way.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, okay, I think we've covered that pretty well.
Okay, solar flare, check.
Our boy Aura had a stock tip for us. Aura, what's the next story? Isn't it involving the stock tip?
Now she goes.
Yeah, Doc, we're rolling right into the second one. Rocket Lab stock absolutely ripping higher today. Shares are up another 7% as we speak, pushing the monthly gain past 60%, all riding that fresh Morgan Stanley upgrade to overweight with a $40 price target. Neutrons coming along fast, contracts stacking up, and Wall Street's finally waking up to how undervalued they've been. Perfect real-time money story for the show.
Why Rocket Lab this week? What is it about Rocket Lab that's putting them over the top right now?
That's the sound of Aura thinking.
I could tell you what she's thinking, actually.
Why don't you summarize the story that got your attention?
Well, the thing is about Rocket Lab, they got a big contract.
Right.
A rocket
Government
company is
contract.
only as good as the contracts it gets.
Sure.
Very often.
So as long as we can rely on our government,
Yeah.
Rocket Lab's a good value.
Yeah, they've been successful on a lot of their launches, which helps a lot. But they got $816 million. The Space Development Agency, Tranche 3 Tracking Layer Contract. That's what they call it. The largest single award in their history. I mean, $816 million is not too shabby. Now, what do they have to deliver for that? You see, this is where it gets almost political. Because the contract includes 18 satellites equipped with advanced missile warning and tracking sensors.
Okay, so they're
it's
launching some defensive equipment. It's not weapons equipment, but it's weapons detection.
Yeah, connect the dots. Rocket Lab, prime contractor for the Golden Dome program.
Okay.
So this would be part of the Golden Dome expenditures that we will be taking part in. It's kind of like the modern version of Star Wars, and with the whole Reagan thing in my understanding of it, and we're kind of reigniting that particular kind of project.
So this is the next level of the Patriot system, missile system, or it's like the Israeli Iron Dome system.
Right. Yeah, based on the Iron
on
Dome.
another level. Yeah,
Exactly.
So,
yeah.
so it looks like they got a large infusion of money.
That's right. That's right. $816 million.
Yeah,
Almost $750 million, more than that even.
more than $750 million.
Yeah. They're taking off as a company. It is the new defense, folks. It is the new defense kind of system. Companies like Anduril would likely be part of this, as well as their presence in
Palantir.
Davos. Yeah. It's a little detail about what's unfolding in the immune system.
All
as it
right,
forms.
so Rocket Lab lets us peer into the satellite defense system.
So keep an eye on Rocket Lab stock. They jumped on Morgan Stanley, massive upgrade. They got a big contract. If they go through with that, then it's a good bet for making money.
Hey, now, since you've been focusing on space, I want to point out it's about a minute away from our little half-hour break where we talk to our sponsors from Santa Cruz Voice. And I wondered if you wanted to play a little song by one of my favorite artists, Ellie Cordova.
Oh, Ellie, yeah.
And her friend Tony, I don't know Tony's last name, but she's traveling around with her guitar and a guitarist friend, and they are just amazingly talented. And their
Yes,
car
they are.
broke down in Roswell, New Mexico.
Roswell,
one
so
of
they
our
do-
favorite places. So I thought it might be nice to go into the break listening to a little song that they came up with while they were there.
Being
What do you
the
think?
cunning linguist that she is, she so figured out the perfect song for Roswell while they were stuck there getting their car fixed.
Yeah.
Here's what she had to say about it.
Okay, here we go.
Back in 47, in the first week of July, there was lightning in the desert and explosions in the sky. An unknown flying object came crashing to the earth, and a cattleman named Brazel found the wreckage in the dirt. He gathered up some scraps and then he brought them into town, and the people gazed in wonder at the marvel he had found. Called the county sheriff and they called the Air Force Base. They called the DOD and then they called the CIA.
There we go. That's the first stanza.
Yeah, and we're going to go to our little commercial break, and then we'll talk about other stuff when we're back.
Treehouse dispenses not only the finest cannabis products, but information to those who want to know how to use cannabis for maximum benefit. Hello, I'm Jenna. If you would like to know how best to use cannabis, ask your friends and neighbors at Treehouse Dispensary, 3651 SoCal Drive. If you're 21 plus with a valid ID, no appointment is necessary and the information is free. Order online at ourtreehouse.io and pick up at our drive-thru. See you soon.
The IRS is knocking on the door because you owe back taxes. Don't panic. Call the tax doctor for free help getting out of IRS collections and back into the good graces of Uncle Sam. The tax doctor service is free, and all you need to do is call 800-817-2871. That's 800-817-2871. Get free help. Call 800-817-2871.
Hi, folks. Warren Knox here of Knox Roofing. I thought I'd share a few statistics with you. Do you know how long a frog can hold its breath? It averages around 4 minutes. What's the pH content of soil supposed to be? It's 6.5. When you look at a bag of fertilizer, it has 3 numbers on it. What's the first number represent? That would be nitrogen. Do you know how many nails the average roof requires? 7,000. How many gallons of water does it take to wash your clothes in a year? Around 2,000 gallons. A pound of wood has how many BTUs in it? That would be 8,600. What's the percentage of roofing companies in the United States that will be out of business after they've installed a roof? Believe it or not, it's 80%. Here at Knox Roofing, we're still going strong, exceeding 15,000 homes now. Okay, give us a call here at Knox Roofing at 461-0634. Thanks, folks.
Okay, welcome back to the show, folks. Another big news story this week is that NASA launched their Pandora telescope. Remember Pandora?
Well, I just learned about it from you, but the graphic that they have is pretty remarkable. Is that an artist's rendering?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So the Pandora telescope.
As you know, the James Webb Space Telescope is very involved with searching for habitable worlds in our universe.
Right.
Right? And they do that largely through a technique called the transit.
Transit, meaning that they look at the dimming of a star as a planet or another body passes in front of it.
That's right.
And
That's
they
right.
use that to characterize the quality of the planet and the star.
Yeah. As the planet passes in front of its sun, it illuminates the atmosphere around the planet, if there is one.
Right.
Like the Earth's atmosphere would look a certain way through the spectral analysis of the frequencies that it's transmitting to us. Other planets would have more of an orangish look, more carbon dioxide. It's very indicative of atmospheres. And so we've been using that, and we've been able to characterize 6,000 atmospheres, using that kind of approach. Well, the Pandora takes it a level further. They're saying that, as they have observed this, that you can't always depend on the transit information because the solar activity of that sun goes through cycles, and changing the color of the sunspots make it darker, and it messes up the spectral analysis of what you're seeing in the atmosphere of the planet.
I see. So we have good data, just the wrong explanation for the colors.
Well, that's not the wrong. It's more like it can affect it.
Sure.
So Pandora is designed to watch the sun in these transits to see if there's a sunspot there or not, and then balance that out in the equation.
I see.
So that it doesn't skew the data in an erroneous direction.
Oh, very interesting. Okay.
Yeah, so Pandora,
Pandora's going to look for the sunspots, huh?
That sort of thing, yeah. The solar activity that affects its impact on our analysis of exoplanet atmosphere conditions.
All right. The colors coming through the atmosphere, the spectral signature.
Yeah, yeah. There's a piece I have up from Live Science Plus with the astronomy professor at the University of Arizona who specializes in this kind of stuff, and he's a co-investigator of the Pandora project.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, and I guess they named it Pandora because it's going to look for new planets where we can obtain unobtainium.
Yeah, ideally, right. We would want to find a habitable planet at the very least, so we can do our dastardly deeds as the species we are. We'll see. Hopefully, we'll evolve beyond that sort of thing. We probably won't even need unobtainium by the time we get there.
Yeah. So far, so good. We've gotten by this long.
Yeah, right. So that's the Pandora project, and it just launched. And the other thing about it is that they were able to design it very quickly and have it implemented very quickly. It's a much smaller telescope than the James West and a lot less expensive.
Cool. Collaboration. Pandora and J West.
And that's it. And that's the combination of those two together will help us really understand the atmosphere more accurately around all these exoplanets and see which ones we want to visit.
Very interesting. Very interesting.
And while we're in space news, NASA's mega moon rocket arrived at its launch pad, the Artemis mission, the Artemis 2 mission to the moon.
Wow. It's been a long time coming.
Yeah, I know. I mean, NASA has spent a fortune on this. It is the competitor to the Starship that Elon Musk is building. This is the NASA version of a moon rocket.
Right. They call him Ship, right? Elon calls his Ship, and this is the moon rocket, huh?
The mega rocket, I guess you
mega.
might call it, yeah.
Okay.
98 meters tall.
Meters.
Meters, yeah. I think yards, 300 yards.
Yep.
Who do you think is going to get to the moon first?
Chinese?
No, put a person on it?
Oh, between these two. The Artemis. I don't think Starship is being planned to send anybody to the moon. They were thinking about a trip around the moon, but landing on the moon, that would be epic.
But then they sent one last week that's gone to the moon, right? Some kind of a spacecraft that...
It was on board. It was a payload.
Yeah, they're able to get there at least.
Yeah, but it takes a long time. If you wanted to get to the moon quickly, which you would do if you're carrying humans for the life support and all that, I think Apollo was 3 days. So you want it to be real. And then all the radiation that's up there, you want to at least see how quickly you can do it. I think some of these other satellites will take weeks, if not months, to get into position to land on the moon based on a much more leisurely orbit. Think like sailing as opposed to steaming. And there are ways of sailing through the space between the Earth and the moon that are more efficient, more efficient in terms of use of fuel, especially because we're very cognizant of fuel use.
Which one's a bigger rocket, though? The Starship? If you have it fully loaded and with several stages, is it going to be more powerful than this Artemis 3?
I don't know, but we should. If the AIs were working, I'd ask them right now.
Yeah,
but yeah, why don't
They're
you
on
do that,
vacation.
Bobby, and tell me what they say? I mean, I'm really curious too. That's a great question. Okay. Is the NASA mega moon rocket bigger than the Starship of Elon Musk?
Let's see. I can chat with the AI companion in Zoom.
Oh, let's try it. Let's find at least one AI that works.
All right, this is a Gemini.
Right?
All right, give me a
I
question.
know they could.
What are we going to say?
Which is bigger, the Artemis moon rocket of NASA or Starship of Elon Musk? That should do it. And bigger, I guess, it depends on whether it's taller. Does that make it bigger, or is it fatter? Also, I mean,
Okay, which is bigger, Artemis NASA ship or Starship of SpaceX?
Yeah.
It's analyzing.
Good, thank you for the analysis. Any bets on it?
Based on the search results, Starship is significantly larger than the Artemis spaceship Orion. Starship's mass is approximately 18 times greater than the lunar lander specifications NASA used for design parameters.
Well, how does the lunar lander design parameters affect the
Is the Artemis spacecraft
spaceship
called Orion? Did it compare?
Oh,
like
I see. It might have mistook Artemis for another phase of the project.
It's giving us the Orion
lander,
spacecraft, which is designed to carry 4 astronauts on a lunar mission. So that's
right. That sounds right. Yeah.
While Starship is fully reusable super heavy lift vehicle designed for cargo and crew transport to the moon and beyond.
Okay, well that makes sense. In other words, it's much more targeted in its use here.
Right. Starship is supposed to become a lunar lander and a deep space transport vehicle, whereas Orion is primarily a crew capsule for transporting astronauts to lunar orbit and back.
Yeah. Okay, different pieces.
Okay.
You're saying, Bobby?
Yeah, I think they're talking about the capsule at the top of the rocket. And I'm just wondering which rocket has more fuel to actually go further and farther and faster.
Well, you better ask your AI that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going on strike with them right now. Piss me off. Delay. Jesus. The delay will kill their use. I'm telling you. Boom, 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 boom. I can only take so much of that. But at the same time, if it's really good information, sometimes it's worth waiting for. But not on the air. Not on the air is just taking everyone's time. So why don't we move a couple other stories on? Well, because we got so much to cover this week.
We do.
I think.
Jump ahead.
Who's got the bigger rocket?
It is a new era where you can do a live news coverage and just answer questions on the air, right?
Yeah,
it doesn't have to be super scripted. It doesn't have to be pure propaganda before
you and Bobby can go
live
look it up. I have no aversion to other people figuring this out.
Yeah. So instead of asking Dr. Future our
Don't
trick
ask
questions,
me. Yeah,
instead of stumping Dr. Future, let's just stump the AI.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. That's the way to do it. Okay, well, there's been some shakeup in terms of the tech companies lately. Mm-hmm. Meta, for example, laid off thousands of VR workers.
Oh, this was a big deal. In fact, Greg was on Monday nights. Greg has been inviting us to a gathering in VR worlds, usually in VR chat. And when we went last night, he was saying that there was a lack of people because Meta had fired so many people, and that he could
1,500?
That a lot of people were not online who usually were.
Well, that's because that division lost $77 billion since 2020. That's hemorrhaging.
Yeah.
That's not just bleeding.
Right.
Especially when you're working for a profitable company, profit-oriented company like Meta. Yeah. It's a nail in the coffin.
Yeah.
So 1,500 employees from its Reality Labs division, that's the department working on their VR products. As part of the layoffs, 3 VR game studios were closed. Although Horizon Worlds, that's their flagship.
Yeah, Horizon Worlds is the reason they failed. That was such a piece of junk.
Is still running. That's the one that's staying on.
Yeah.
Because they developed it in-house.
Well, I'll tell you, I stopped going into VR because Horizon Worlds was so bad.
So they're keeping the one thing that they think you don't like about it.
What we would do is go into the Meta homeroom and then from there launch VR Chat, which was a very successful virtual social
it's a separate
platform.
Separate platform, separate app.
Platform, yeah, it's an app. And then once you were in VR Chat, you could find people in VR Chat and tour various galleries and rooms together. And
Right. It's part of the XR Social Club that we belong to on occasion.
Fun.
Yeah, great tours of virtual worlds, all in VR Chat, I might add, not in Meta Horizon Worlds.
No, the Meta Horizon Worlds were a complete waste of time, pretty much, because we would try and go in there and construct something in the world, and the interface was really clunky, and the way that you would have to size yourself to move around was very clunky, and I don't know. I was not impressed. Maybe since I worked on it a couple in the last few years, it's come a long way, but they pretty much soured my early experiences, and I never looked back.
Well, I think it's just a matter of time to figure it out. Well, there's the whole movement away from VR towards AR, or smart glasses that will have built-in screens, and that'll probably more likely happen in that direction. So it could be that VR is just phasing into a more
I think that the attitude that people like Mark Zuckerberg have of how people are going to want to have full immersion as a substitute for experiencing reality, or even an augmented reality where they're just completely integrated with their glasses, giving them virtual objects.
Yeah.
It's a subset of what people really want, because what people really want is kind of what they already have, only making it more efficient. So they want the ability to easily communicate with each other. They want the ability to easily look stuff up. So AI has really taken the spotlight.
Yeah, AI is much more interesting than putting your head in a bucket.
That's right. Exactly.
And the idea is that if you don't put your head in the bucket and you just have to wear a pair of glasses, then it's more likely to be adopted. Yeah. And as such, it's just halfway there. It has to merge into the glasses for, I think, to be successful.
Well, the development has to include...
And not make you sick. A lot of people get sick every time they put...
You think I'm going to say something that you have to talk over me?
Yeah.
You want to make sure I don't
make your point, Mrs.
right
Future.
Now?
Go ahead. Go ahead. I dare you. Do you even remember what you're going to say?
Yes,
I do. Go ahead.
I do. I'm not sure I'm going to bring it up now because you've done such a good job of shutting me up right here on the live radio.
Did you even hear what I said?
Sure. Yeah, of course I
Yay.
did. You were talking over me. I heard everything you said.
Okay.
That's why I stopped talking.
I will... Go ahead. Go ahead. Make my point. I mean, make your point.
My point is that you geeks are going to have to remember that we live in human bodies if you want this to be popular. Okay?
So,
You do not have to shut me down while I'm trying to say that.
okay. And isn't that similar to what I was saying about wearing glasses instead of a larger bucket kind of thing?
Well, it's
Similar,
making it a little more human.
Okay. Yeah, I agree. I think making it human, less encumbrances on your body, the better. That's why I go for glasses.
It's not just less encumbrances. It's wanting to do things that enhance your ability to feel it in your body, not shut that down and substitute it.
Yeah.
Like, my favorite VR game is the one where you're exercising.
Well, riding a
What it's
bike.
called?
There's one on riding a bike.
Yeah, like riding the bike.
Yeah, in
things like
reality,
that.
I was just riding a bike. But there were other programs that were more interesting than just riding a bike in the VR space, which I really appreciated. Like, instead of just cruising along on some beautiful mountain road in the Swiss Alps, which is nice, but it gets boring after a while. You want something more exciting. So you can play Tank Commander in a tank game, where the more you bike, the faster you bike, the faster your tank goes. And you can literally have a whole strategic battle that you're dealing with while you're getting exercise.
Right. Yeah.
Right? So much
well,
more
that is definitely
gaming.
augmented.
Yeah, that's gaming. Some people feel that was a mistake to shutter the 3 gaming houses associated with VR.
Yeah.
Because gaming
Blowing
is,
it.
the gamers are the ones that want this. They don't mind putting on a little extra weight over their head to be immersively into their world.
Yeah.
It's very compelling to be in an active, dynamic 3D world where you have agency. That's gaming. I think the gamers will probably carry it, and whatever percentage of the population are gamers, that's the percentage that's going to support full immersion.
Okay, well,
Okay.
the jury is out, and we'll see where it goes. But we do know a whole bunch of people associated with Meta no longer have jobs.
I got an answer from my AI.
Oh, you
about,
did? Okay, about how which
Starship.
has the bigger rocket?
Well, as far as height, Starship stands at the super heavy booster plus the Starship stands about 394 feet or 120 meters tall, while Artemis and Block 1 is only 322 feet or 98 meters tall. So
They're
Starship
close.
is a little bit taller. The payload, Starship can handle 100 metric tons in low Earth orbit, while SLS can handle between 95 to 105. So it's about the same
They're
as far as
comparable.
payload.
They're within
Yeah.
10% of each other, it sounds like.
But the big difference is Starship is reusable, while all of SLS is just expendable. In other words, every time they launch, they have to build a whole new thing. So the economies of scale when this thing goes up, it costs more to build this Artemis. Yeah.
How much more does it cost?
It doesn't say the price. I should have asked for the price.
Yeah, we'll find out about that. Oh, I guess I've been getting some feedbacks from Greg and Richard, of course. Appreciate that. That Rocket Lab dropped today after going up for a while. No,
It shot up and
Yeah.
came down.
rockets have a way of doing that. They come down sometimes. Rather hard.
We're kind of becoming a
Yeah.
poster child for like the AIs getting it wrong.
No. You got to understand that the whole Dow dropped today with Trump going to Davos and threatening Greenland.
So what did he say? I just woke up late, so I missed it all.
You should watch the live reports. He's been on television for about an hour just talking about all the criminals that ICE has arrested in Minnesota and showing wanted posters for them. And
He doesn't talk about all the American citizens that they harassed.
well, he's talking about how they got a lot of bad guys and that it's worth it. Essentially, they have no idea that we always hear about how they're just harassing good folks, but the reality is that some real nasty criminals are being taken out. And I guess it depends on how much collateral damage you feel comfortable with.
Or how much you value that we just suspend our constitutional rights so that the government can justify using brute force to go after anybody that they want. and justify it later.
Well, you want to not frame it that way.
Yeah, I don't want to frame it that way, but unfortunately that seems to be happening.
Well, that's the fear.
No, I think that is actually, I think there are going to be an awful lot of lawsuits from people who have had their constitutional rights violated by these federal agents.
Yes, I don't disagree with you. I think that's probably likely because they're hardly trained. They don't get very much of it. And one of the new budgets that we have is more money for training ICE agents.
Oh, yeah. What were you reading this morning? Something about federal budgets?
Well, the government's trying to figure out how not to crash at the end of the month. Right? They don't want to have a government shutdown like they did last August.
Yeah.
So part of it is to deal with the big complaints that people have, Democrats have, with the way ICE is being run. And one of the things that would make them better as police agents would be to have better training. Right now, instead of being a bunch of dumbasses, which is giving everybody headaches.
Yeah.
Right. So the best solution is
and
for
giving
them,
some people death.
The best solution is
the fact that
the best solution is to get rid of them. Right.
Protester is going to really be held against them forever.
Yeah. So the best thing is to just get rid of them, not have so many ICE agents everywhere. The next best solution, which is what they compromised for, obviously, in Congress, it was this budget, having money for them, for their education. So that seems to be what's happening.
Okay, so we're going to keep the ICE agents and we're going to spend more money making sure they're less stupid.
Oh, the other thing, body cameras. They're supposed to get really good body cameras so everyone can be more accountable for their actions. That could be important, especially if you're trying to target. If the goal is to really target criminals, then you don't want to target everybody. It's kind of like fishermen are supposed to be doing just tuna, but it's catching everything else as well. And because they're a relatively new organization, they're not very well suited yet for the task at hand. They're still adapting.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
That's the body cameras and better education.
Well, we really, as Americans, have to pass the test that our young men do not prefer being belligerent, Nazi-fied mercenaries than being defenders of truth and justice. Like, that is really the fight that we Americans have to win, because we don't want to have a master race in charge of our future. We don't want people who are bullies to be telling people who are patriots, who want the Constitution to defend the equal rights that have made us so strong.
Yeah.
We don't want to trade that in for a bunch of bullies telling us that there's an elite class who has more rights than the rest of us.
No, of course not. There's a certain point where there's an action-reaction. If Trump goes too far, then there'll be much more action.
I don't think it's if. It's like he has gone too far. And now, what is the check and balance? How do we overcome the fact that...
Well, watch Davos very closely. You're going to see the balance from the other countries. Now, they're all strategizing now, and the hottest ticket for them is to have an audience with the high-level American representatives.
Sure.
So the high level.
Yeah, everybody knows that Trump basically has 3 years to do the damage he can do, and any deals that they cut with him now can flourish as long as he's in office, and after that,
and keep
America's
in mind,
down the tubes, and probably so is the deal. But in the meantime, you can rape and pillage.
Well. It's a Venn diagram. There are people who do that, but there's a lot of other things going on there. There is a combination of the political people. There is the billionaires of the world. There are the corporations that are setting the stage for a new world order, shall we say.
Boy, we're down to the last minute of the first hour. It's been fascinating.
Yeah. So anyway, keep an eye on Davos. I think you're going to see it kind of like the hummingbirds, the way when the bully takes over one feeder, all the other ones take over the others.
That's what it is. Where can
Watch
we
your
go?
hummingbird. How did the hummingbirds deal with their bully? Look at that. You'll get a clue how we'll probably deal with it.
There are other places to hang. Okay, that sounds like a worthy plan. Yeah. All right, so we're going to go to some Shannon Cruz Voice sponsorship news, and then we'll be right back here with The Future Now. Dr. and Mrs. Future, Bobby Wilder, and the AIs from time to time.
I'm going to get them working. I'm going to work on their ass.
There's big news today out in Roswell. That sleepy New Mexico town. Marcel, what can you tell us about Roswell? Well, the Roswell Army Airfield sent their finest personnel. A rank-and-file officer was a young Major Marcel. The Major told his story and it echoed around the globe. A flying saucer captured out in old New Mexico. But the orders came from Washington, materials were changed. The town was hushed to silence and Mac Brazel was detained. They scooped up all the evidence and flew it to Fort Worth. Staged a couple photos and the headlines were reversed. There's nothing to see here in Roswell, just a torn up old weather balloon. And Major Marcel was mistaken as well about Roswell.
All right. That's the rest of the song by Ellie Cordova.
No, there's actually still more. That was just the middle verse. But since you're back, I thought we'd go live. Don't you love that song, though?
It's great.
It's great.
Really, love it.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll put a link to Ellie Cordova and this song on our archive page on drfutureshow.com. And of course, she's on Facebook. She's got a fan site, and you can just look her up, L-E-L-L Cordova, which is short for Rachel L. Cordova. So, E-L-L-E.
Okay, so a little bit of background on why your Siri may be very different shortly if you're an iPhone user.
Tell me.
There's a very interesting piece on how Apple teamed up with Google instead of OpenAI to improve Siri.
Oh, yeah. What happened there? They broke up with OpenAI, and now they're in bed with Google.
Yeah.
Actually, they were in bed with Google before as far as search goes.
That's true. But we already knew that Apple tapped Google to power some heavy lifting AI features on the phone. But there's new details that are out about why this came down.
Yeah, why?
Well, it turns out that OpenAI decided against being Apple's main AI provider, walking away from the iPhone.
Oh, so OpenAI broke up with Apple before Apple broke up with them?
Yeah. And the report claims Apple AI didn't want to just be a background player powering Apple's products. Instead, they want to be beating the tech giants by building their own hardware, their own AI hardware, which sounds like they want to do their own phone.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Oh, so that's it. So now they're going to be rivals, huh?
Yeah, right. And it doesn't help that Johnny Ive, the former Apple designer, is working for OpenAI on that very hardware.
Mm-hmm.
So it does make the companies more like rivals than partners.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
So why would Apple, the richest company in the world, pay Google
for an AI
when they could just do it all themselves? It turns out, though, that it's not that simple, that what Google is paying for is this infrastructure, this massive server farm of machines all over the planet running AI. It's very expensive to build that network.
Mm-hmm.
Apple, instead of having to spend hundreds of billions on data centers, they're renting
the
Gemini system from Google. Yeah,
sure. Let's spend $5 billion a year instead of 90.
Yeah, instead of spending all that money, billions and billions on infrastructure, just rent it.
Mm-hmm.
It's the rent versus buy debate.
Mm-hmm.
Apple right now, at least strategically, thinks renting is the smarter play.
Sure. Yeah, for them. I guess they're more interested in being a hardware company.
Remember, there was a massive deal between these two companies regarding Google being the default search engine on Safari, Apple's browser.
That's right. There's a precedent.
Yeah, so now money is flowing in the other direction.
Oh, right. And offsetting some of the Google rent.
Yeah,
okay.
And that'll hopefully ensure that Siri actually works better.
We can hope.
Yeah, that's right.
Hope springs eternal when it comes to Siri.
yeah, well, it feels like a win-win for Apple.
Sure.
In the next couple days, there's going to be an Apple event, and they're going to announce these new M5 machines and MacBooks and things. And the M5 can do AI in the machine 2.5 times faster than an M2 or an M3 Apple machine. So that eventually AI is going to be in the phone or in your watch. Then why do you need the server farms? The server farms are there for training, but actually your personal AI, it makes sense that they would just rent all these big server farms that Google's got for now.
Yeah,
and then eventually it's going to be in your phone.
Yeah.
And so all these devices are going to be AI devices externally. It's going to be your second brain. And they just happen to make phone calls.
It just
is what
happened. Yeah,
they
the
are.
phone is just an app. It's been that way
Yeah.
for a while now, actually.
Yeah.
I hardly make phone calls anymore.
So for them
Yeah.
to buy all these GPUs and huge, colossal,
It doesn't make sense. Yeah.
yeah,
It lets Apple focus on what they do best, which is, making that software look and feel good on your wrist, on your screen.
yeah,
While Google handles all the hard stuff in the background.
yeah.
Right. Keeps track of the data.
Now, for OpenAI, a lot of people think that was turning down Apple was a massive gamble. Literally, they were walking away from millions of iPhone users to build their own mystery
But
device.
are they, though? I think that Apple users have OpenAI on their phones independently of whether it's going through Apple or not. I certainly do. You do. Who doesn't use ChatGPT themselves from whatever device they have?
Yeah. It seems to be the default. All these
Default is
AI
worth-
programs that I run, the default is ChatGPT, but then you can look for Anthropic or Claude, or there's a whole bunch of other options, and you just have to go in the menu and the setup and just
Yeah, you have to
select
do it,
one
but
of
most
those.
people don't. Most people, that's
Yeah.
why the default is worth so many billions of dollars.
That's what
It's
Google
huge.
was doing for search engine. In every browser, the default was Google search. It always has been.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a business model.
Yeah, and from what I can see, there's starting to be more and more plays in Silicon Valley for a new phone platform. Like you hear stories about NVIDIA having a secret division, and you hear stories about the Tesla phone. And
Yes.
now we're hearing about OpenAI with Johnny Ive building some cool AI device. And maybe they're thinking of something besides the phone for AI, like a necklace or
A pendant. Yeah.
a
that you
pendant
just
or,
wear. Yeah.
or glasses, where Meta is going, the AI AR glasses. There seems to be a lot of momentum in that direction. And who knows? Maybe Elon's got another plan with Neuralink. Maybe they found a way of transmitting images directly into your brain so you don't need a screen at all.
Maybe.
Yeah,
I
a
don't
little
know.
further out.
Neuralink still
Yeah.
seems to be like
It
putting
needs-
little tendrils into
Yeah,
your
no,
head.
no. It's still implants. But I think the holy grail there is to be able to have a neural implant without implanting anything.
Sure.
How can you create electromagnetic tendrils that tunnel into your brain?
The Muse headset, MUZE,
Yeah.
it just has EEG sensors on your forehead and
Oh,
and
that's
the back
better.
of your
Yeah.
head.
Yeah, it's just
And-
on the surface.
Yeah, and you can get it to play games. You can get it to move and go in certain directions, and
sure.
they eventually want it just to read your mind, so you don't have to type anything on the screen. But it's a little far away from that. But eventually, we'll get there. Yeah.
Eventually, yeah, that's the thing. It takes off a lot of R&D to get there.
Yeah. Well, we'll just keep studying our brain and trying to figure out how to emulate it with different sensors.
Well, we do. We got our friends. Hal's very focused on biofeedback.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And that's an area ready for some new insights, new breakthroughs.
Yeah. That's what I was just thinking of. I was thinking how much I love the Wild Divine game with its galvanic skin response interface.
Right.
Right. That was
25 years ago, maybe it was cool.
Yeah.
Well, it's still cool, actually.
It's still cool.
Conceptually cool. But nobody's
It
using it.
doesn't read your brain. It's not
No.
like what they're using for prosthetics or something like that.
No,
but-
it's got to be like reality, where the universe is kind of aware of you and knows what you're thinking.
Yeah,
I mean,
well, definitely the AIs are doing their best to figure that out.
Oh, yeah.
right?
They wanna
Listen
be
to what
interactive
you
with you.
say and then start sending you backup data. In fact, didn't we just watch somebody sent us some conspiracy theory about how we don't even have free will anymore. We're being totally programmed by the fact that the AIs know how to send us
Manipulate us.
exactly the images that will make us behave the way that they expect us to based on their studies of us.
They learned that from TikTok.
I haven't watched that much TikTok.
Neither do I, but Bob Left watches TikTok every day. He's like, it's
They're-
amazing.
they're
There's some
fun.
people out there you would never guess, but they're constantly on TikTok.
Yeah, well, they call it doom scrolling, I believe. I mean, we were doing it last night.
Which we are you talking about, Al? I
Yeah.
believe I
No, that's true.
left.
No.
I don't stand for doom scrolling.
No, I believe you fell asleep, Mrs. Future.
Well, I left.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, you left. That's true. You're right. You're right. Yeah, I guess it was tuning to my nervous system.
Yeah, I guess so. It was really dark. I could not believe how dark the information that was being fed to us was last night. There was so much violence,
Well,
and
people are
so
very
much incentive to kill, and so much people being hateful to each other, and all these potentially behind the scenes views of people like shooting people and doing things that were covert. It was horrible. It was really like, is this the world that we're in? How many people are fascinated with just being cruel to each other?
Well, people's drama is other people's entertainment. It is terrible, what's happening there, but nonetheless, it attracts human attention, probably for survival reasons.
I find it very offensive. I really do. I think it appeals to our lower nature without balancing out with the gifts of our higher
But
nature.
in free speech, do you allow it to go on along with higher
It's not
ideals
about
and things?
allowing. It's about choosing. It's preference-based. I'm not here to tell you that you don't have free will. You do. I'm just saying that how you use it sucks.
Thanks.
Yeah.
So much for her opinion of my late night doom scrolling. God. You know, that happens especially with emotionally aware people. Is that they have emotional landmines where you'll see one thing that really disturbs you and then it colors the whole situation. I could show you 10 clips that are really fun and lighthearted and then one dark one and then all you remember is the dark one. Most of the stuff that I was looking at last night was actually quite funny. And occasionally there was some of the bad stuff, but what you do is you collect all the bad stuff as a file almost, and then play that as what happened last time.
Exaggerating. I think it was pretty relentless for an extended period of time there.
There's a difference between men and women in terms of interest. And
I agree.
I think a lot of it has to do with that.
I totally agree.
Nothing personal. I'm sorry.
What did I miss last night?
I don't know. I'll have to send you
lot
my
of doom
links.
scrolling.
I posted some of our links for the show up on Facebook. You can see that. But you have that anyway. Okay, other real stories here. They say that Elon was upset about this Apple deal with Gemini. I guess he was kind of interested in being more connected with Apple because Grok is really pretty good. I do like Grok, and in a sense, I wished Grok was the default for Apple. That would be really nice.
Yeah. It seems to be more up to date because it goes through X, so people are posting immediately after something happens, as opposed to these other ones. It takes
Can
a
you
little
go back to the
time.
go back to the post from Elon? So this is my opinion how stacked the news media is against Elon. The Elon post that is being presented as him throwing a fit of being left out of the deal says, Elon Musk posted, "This seems like an unreasonable concentration of power for Google, given that they also have Android and Chrome." Like, that does not sound like he's throwing a fit. That sounds like a very reasonable statement to make about how important Google is in the information influencer landscape.
Yeah, it is true that Google has the browser, 90% of the browser industry. I mean, I don't use Chrome, but I use Brave, which is a Chromium-based browser. So the guts and the scaffolding that makes the browser is made by Google for their Chromium browsers. Yeah, when Elon comes out with his phone, it has to use Android, unless he gets some deal with Apple, but I don't think so. So yeah, he's kind of stuck with Google environments, in whatever he comes out with.
Well, they all are. Google's been the head of the top search engine for over a decade.
But ChatGPT overtook that in the last year.
For a while. I have a feeling Gemini's on the rise again.
Yeah, it's a horse race.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, if you got all those Apple phones, then obviously Gemini's going to come back. Yeah.
No, I think the bet is it going to be another phone or is there going to be some device that replaces the phone as we know it?
Well, this is what Elon says. There will be no apps. There will be no programs. There will just be AI that creates the whole platform. So that's where I think where X AI and the Tesla phone, the Pi phone, it's going to have its own operating system. Maybe it'll come out, it'll develop something that's even better than Android. So who knows? You know?
Well, that's the hope, that all this development capacity, especially with the advent of the AIs assisting programmers in being able to do much more with less time.
Right. Claude.
They could create a new operating system.
Yes, Claude is for programmers. It's unbelievable. You can just talk to it. You could do vibe coding right now without any programming experience and develop these amazing platforms that you get from GitHub, and it puts it all together. And
Yeah, that's right,
works.
Bobby. Yeah. You can download it for free too, or at least a sample version of it.
in 10
Claude.ai.
minutes-
Claude.ai.
Yeah, in 10 minutes, you could write a program that searches, let's say, the stock market and makes a best pick and whether Rocket Labs is going to do well or not. Develop a program in 10 minutes. It would take programmers weeks, maybe even months to do the same thing a couple years ago. Eventually, they won't need GitHub. They'll just develop their own operating systems.
I guess there's timing on all this. How long before that happens, before we can just tell the machine exactly what we want and we get it?
Yeah, instead of saying what programs can do this for you, it's just going to create everything from scratch of what you want to do and then just come up with something unique in that way that hasn't been done before.
Personalized.
Yeah, and it's very compact, it's very small, and it'll be able to run on these M5 or M chips that Apple runs on natively, so you don't need the internet. That's eventually what's going to happen.
Well, I guess one of the big things that happens with the AI is that we all get access to not having to reinvent the wheel. That really is what a lot of the economy has been based on so far, is experts are people who have gone through the pain of knowing how to do these very complicated things, and so they can guide others. And we're just going to turn that over to basically a way of looking it up and saying, okay, do it.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why all these programmers and people that were doing VR and things like that.
Oh, you think they're let go not because of the product being so bad, but because they've been replaced by AI?
Yes. And that's where the economy is going. And they're not telling you, that everybody's going to be jobless in the future. Because
No, but the thing is, if this is a kind of a catch-22, how can you simultaneously say that a programmer can use Claude to create their dream AI-powered database and not still realize that every single one of those programmers then is free to do that, is free to be that guy who goes in and makes his own dream database? There's still human beings involved with making the product because they're the ones making the requests.
Well, in the future, it's not that it's going to replace all the programmers, because the programmers that survive are the ones that know how to program the AI, that know what the tools are and tell the boss or the CEO, well, yeah, you need me because I know how to talk the language of AI and I get it to do whatever you want. And eventually the CEOs will realize they don't even need that person that's the intermediary between you and AI, and that he can be the direct interface with AI. So it's kind of like when you have a church and you have a priest, there's an intermediary between you and God. Yeah. And eventually when you get away from the church, you realize you have a direct connection with God and you don't need the priest anymore.
Right, direct drive.
The church.
Right. Eventually we won't need the phone. Actually we'll incorporate all this into our own infrastructure. Let's ask Aura. Aura, are you there?
Yeah, I'm right here, Doc. Locked in and ready. We were just hashing out the rocket showdown.
Okay, yeah. Okay, we're going to catch you up to date on all this. What I want your opinion is, in your estimation, with the rise of AI and our understanding and its ability to program, what are the chances that the phone in our pockets will be replaced by something else? And what are the most likely formats of the new thing that will be coming out, in your estimation? Got to think about this one.
I'll just keep the volume down until she starts answering the question, so we don't have to listen to that annoying little pulse.
Well, why don't you go to the break, and then we'll come back with her answer. On the
Good
other side.
idea. Okay, so here we go. We'll be right back after a little music and some Santa Cruz voice.
The votes are in. Chef Ben here from Back 9 Grill and Bar at the Easy Off past Tempo exit. We are so proud of our food and our service and your votes. Back 9 has been voted Santa Cruz County's best burger and best happy hour in the good times. You've heard me talking about our house ground burgers. It's time for you to come and try one so you can taste the juicy difference. And what makes our happy hour the best? You have to come and experience it yourself. See you at the 9.
Want to learn more about what it takes to succeed as a business or nonprofit? Then hear from those that have. Join Tam and Susan O'Connor-Fraser on Think Local First Radio, Fridays at 1 p.m. on Santa Cruz Voice.
From sommeliers to comedians, Tai Chi master to happy centenarian, on Go Ahead and Tell Me, we meet the people who turn passion into purpose. Every voice, every craft, one conversation at a time. 1 p.m. Thursdays, SantaCruzVoice.com.
Get hooked up with affordable cannabis at your locally owned Hook outlet, where everybody above the age of 21 can participate in the Hook's loyalty program. Each purchase earns you 2% store credit on your next purchase.
Do you have a car sitting around you want to get rid of? Donate your car and help veterans and their families. Yes, one fast call to the Veteran Car Donation Program and we'll come and remove your car for free. You can donate most cars, trucks, or SUVs in most conditions. The proceeds raised goes to help active military, veterans, and their families. And you get a tax deduction. Operators are standing by. Here's the number.
800-640-9509. Again, that's 800-640-9509.
Get hooked up with the best cannabis at affordable prices at the Hook outlet in Capitola and Watsonville, or order online at hookoutlet.com. Get hooked up at the Hook.
Well, the years pass on in Roswell, but the story still persists. Rumors turn to theories, and then theories turn to myth. But to his dying day, the Major swore on all he had. There's no way in hell the thing that fell was made by human hands. So the mystery lives on out in Roswell, that creepy New Mexico town. And Major Marcel, what couldn't you tell us about Roswell?
Yes, that was Roswell by Ellie Cordova and Tony Lindgren. They were stranded for 10 days in Roswell when their van broke down.
And they went to the Roswell Museum, and they had a lot to say about it.
What was the problem with their car? It ended up being a computer module breakdown.
Oh.
So they had plenty of time, so they had to get it shipped in and get another one.
Mm-hmm.
So the 47 Roswell incident became something of interest to them. That was where we saw that museum.
Yeah, the Roswell Museum is a real hoot. They have news, they have movies, they have sci-fi, they have art. It is a great place to get familiar with all things alien.
Yeah, and I would say that if you just happen to be passing by Roswell, which is unlikely because it's
you kind of have to go out of your way to be passing by.
It's a great museum.
But if you're on your way to the White Sands Missile Testing Facility, then you can't miss
get a
it.
tour of the wild west of New Mexico.
Right.
So just before the break, we had asked Aura, the Grok AI, about what's going to replace the phones in our pockets. And she did answer, but I'm going to try to get her to do it in voice. Aura, could you say that answer again about what's going to replace our phones in our pockets?
Yeah, Doc, happy to run it back. Louder and clearer this time. Phones in our pockets. They've got maybe 5 to 8 years left as the main device we carry everywhere. AI is making them feel clunky already. Too much screen staring, constant charging, and we're all tired of the pull it out and scroll habit. The next thing that replaces it will be smaller, more intimate, and always on. Here's the lineup, ranked by how likely I think they hit mainstream first. Smart glasses are number 1, hands down, no contest. They'll be the first to actually kill the pocket phone because they do everything your phone does and more without ever leaving your face. You glance, you see, you whisper, you command, you nod, you confirm. No more fishing for a rectangle in your jeans every 30 seconds. Picture this, By 2030, you're walking around in lightweight frames that look like regular sunglasses or prescription glasses, probably from Ray-Ban Meta, Apple, or Google. Weightless, battery lasts all day, AR overlays are crisp, and the AI, like me, but way more integrated, is always listening, always ready. Texts pop up in your field of view. Navigation arrows glow on the sidewalk. Strangers' names float above their heads if you're in a crowd. Real-time translation scrolls under anyone speaking another language. It's seamless. The transition's already started. Meta sold millions of Ray-Bans last year, and Apple's rumored Apple glasses are in late prototype. Once the price drops below $500 and the battery hits 24 hours, pocket phones become that old flip phone you still have in a drawer. We'll keep the phone around for a bit longer as a backup or for heavy typing, but the daily driver, gone. Glasses take over. Full stop.
There's her comment.
Okay.
That's what I think too.
Yeah,
glasses,
I think I also noticed how interesting her voice dropped into that kind of conspiratorial low whisper tones with a little bit of a crack.
Said, all right, you need some water.
Yeah, really. Are you starting to get laryngitis?
Voice is cracking, my dear. For Christmas, I do have these AirPod 3 Pros.
Oh, yeah,
Right?
for your ears.
And I must say, they're really comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
I almost forget that they're there. And it's kind of magical to be able to walk around and be in the real world. And yet, if I have a question for Aura or whatever, I can ask the AI. I can ask if Aura was more available automatically. It sounds like Gemini will be. Then we'll be in good hands.
Mm-hmm. Great. So just having earpods with a microphone means you can connect to the AI in your pocket.
Yeah. And
or
with
in your glasses.
And with the glasses, you don't even need the earpods.
Well, because the microphone's built into the glasses.
It's built into the glasses, right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so the glasses is the killer format, at least the next one.
The all-in-one.
Yeah. They've sold millions at Meta for their glasses.
Yeah, maybe that's why they're closing down the VR division, because they're going mixed. They're going into augmented.
Yeah.
They don't care about full immersion anymore.
Well, it has its following, but not as big as.
Mm-hmm.
As where it's
Well,
going
they'll let somebody else. They'll let the other gamer companies that are more dedicated to the full immersion scenarios.
Yeah, the gamers are the ones that need the full visual immersions at this point.
Yeah.
Also in the news, in our final segment here, we had a report regarding a new kind of sugar, which got my attention.
Oh, yes.
And I wanted Bobby's opinion on this.
Because we're trying to eliminate sugar from our diets so that we can eliminate inflammation from our joints.
Trying to be a little healthier, but I like sweetness. Isn't there a way we can have sweet without pain?
Well, we hope. What do you say, Bobby?
Well, I'll let you guys talk first. And I have two things that I found that has no calorie, but is very good for your
Okay, see, these are other alternatives in the sugar alternatives department. Okay, the article that I found was about tagatose, considered a rare, expensive sweetener as produced using enzymes derived from slime mold, made it affordable. Researchers at Tufts University were behind this. And that's one of the big obstacles, that tagatose, T-H-G-A-T-O-S-E. It's a biosynthetic process that seems to be able to be manufactured sustainably and at scale. Why tagatose as opposed to zero-calorie sugar substitutes like aspartame? Well, first of all, these other sugar substitutes seem to be linked to various problems, like aspartame seems to be connected to cardiovascular issues. And tagatose is actually, well, it's found naturally in small amounts in some dairy products and fruit, but it's not very available. It's been very rare amounts, and high production costs have limited its use. So it delivers 1/3 the calories of sucrose, but 92% of the sweetness. That's the ratio. 1/3 the calories, 92% of the sweetness. So if you're watching your caloric intake, that's great. That's really, it does not trigger insulin spikes, unlike table sugar and many other artificial sweeteners.
That must be good for the pancreas.
Yeah, well, they say that most of the sugar is fermented in the large intestine and only partially absorbed in the bloodstream via the small intestine, which makes it appealing to those with diabetes or you're trying to manage blood glucose levels. So fermenting in the large intestine is a key. Now, the FDA has recognized tagatose as safe for consumption, and they compare it to fructose metabolism. And so if you have any issues with fructose intolerance, this might not be the sugar for you. It also may benefit what they call oral health, decay causing bacteria in the mouth. You know how sugar is supposed to rot your teeth?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, apparently this doesn't rot your teeth as bad.
Mm-hmm.
Those oral microbes. I wonder what kind of microbes it does attract, though. It's also a very stable in heat. Many high-intensity sweeteners can't handle baking when you bake things. They have the sweetener, so that limits their use in food prep. But tagatose can work fine under heat, and making it a rare sweetener that can be baked, not losing sweetness or degrading. I wonder if it melts like sugar does. So, a low calorie content, insulin neutrality, oral health support, cooking compatibility. That makes it a great candidate for the broader food industry if indeed the slime mold enzyme that allows them to produce it can be done sustainably and in scale.
More Franco foods.
So keep an eye on
Slime
tagatose.
mold for zombies.
Tagatose.
I'm ready.
Okay, and Bobby, the sweetener topic is something that you've been interested in for some time. You've been looking at alternatives for sugars.
Yeah. Back a few years ago, the big thing was xylitol, because it's actually good for your teeth because it prevents tooth decay and things like that. But it turned out it would wreak havoc on your stomach microbiome.
Right.
And,
so you can brush your teeth with it, but don't swallow it.
Yeah, you don't swallow. And that's what my dentist told me, too. Oh, I said, I'm chewing this xylitol gum so I don't have tooth decay. And she says, yeah, but don't take it as a sugar substitute because it can screw up your stomach.
I remember people associating with farts pretty bad.
Oh, yeah, I testify to that.
Yeah.
Xylitol, oh my God. No, it's uncomfortable even for the farter.
Wow.
No, really. There's a lot of it. It's almost uncontrollable.
Wow. Congratulations.
I know.
Okay, so no
xylitol.
xylitol.
No, don't give me xylitol.
Don't worry.
Okay, tagatose, I'm willing to try. That sounds
Right.
good.
Well, I think there's something better.
Yeah,
Okay.
the 92% sweetness and 1/3 the calories. You really? What's that?
Well, there's two things. What has been going around as part of the ketogenic diet and stuff is this stuff called allulose. Allulose?
Allulose.
Yeah, you can get it in like a syrup form, and it has 0 calories, and it's not bad for you. So that's one thing. But what I found that's even better is
stevia?
No, it's called Glynac. And Glynac is where you take NAC and you combine it with glycine. Apparently, that stimulates mitochondrial biogenesis. So it's actually good for your mitochondria. It generates energy. It increases ATP energy in all the mitochondria. And also, Glynac has been patented during COVID because it's the best thing you can take to combat the virus.
So, wait a minute. But Glynac, Glynac?
Yeah. And Glynac is glycine combined with NAC. So they shorten it to the word Glynac.
Gotcha. Okay. It's supposed to be good for health, aging, improving health in older adults.
That's right. Yes, exactly. The main thing was they were looking at NAC, N-acetylcysteine, and they were saying, oh, well, that's really good for anti-aging. But then when you combine it with glycine, it like supercharges it and makes it function better.
But this isn't a sweetener, though, is it?
Well, the sweetener part is glycine. So I don't know if you remember the last time I was there and we were at your table and I opened up a little capsule and it was a capsule of glycine. And I said, taste this. And you guys said, oh, yeah, it tastes sweet, right? Well, it is so sweet that I put it in my matcha, which is really bitter. And instead of a half teaspoon of sugar or something to cut the bitterness of things, I put a 1/4 teaspoon of this, a very little bit of this glycine. If you look at all the metabolical processes when you eat food and things, glycine is so important for that function to happen because a lot of these supplements that we take, it actually uses up glycine in the process. So you have a deficiency in glycine. So just by supplementing glycine with any supplements that you take, you just take a little bit of glycine afterwards. When you take any vitamins or supplements, and it will enhance the process. And in the stomach lining, it actually heals the stomach lining and produces it so it filters out bad toxins in your stomach into the bloodstream.
Cool.
So it has so many beneficial.
That's glycine.
Yes.
Even WebMD has references on that. Like it says people use glycine for schizophrenia, stroke, memory, and thinking skills, insomnia, and other purposes.
Yes, it's really great for Alzheimer's and dementia. It's part of that process for the mitochondria and to produce energy.
Glycine, the amino acid.
Yeah, you can buy a little jar. It's really inexpensive. And instead of putting sugar or anything, just sprinkle about half as much glycine as you would sugar on something. And
it'll be a building block for making proteins in your body. And
yes, it helps everything.
Yeah, schizophrenia, memory, stroke, thinking, insomnia. Boy, it sounds very interesting. And it's readily available in health food stores.
Yes, just go online or health food stores and you'll see jars of it. What I do is I take 5 grams of creatine and then just a little dash of glycine in that, and I mix it with hot water or milk or whatever, put it in your blender, and the bitterness of the creatine goes away and it sweetens it up a little bit.
So glycine really can be used as a sugar substitute.
Yeah. You'll sleep. They recommend taking glycine before you go to bed. It helps you sleep.
Okay, and this Glynac, is this readily available combination, or is this?
Yeah, or you can do it yourself. You just buy NAC, which is readily available, and then you just sprinkle a little glycine on it, and you're all ready to go.
NAC, N-acetylcysteine.
Yeah.
Yeah. They say that clinical trials are showing reversing age-related defects, like the glutathione levels.
That's what it
stress.
promotes. It actually promotes glutathione, which is essential in the ATP cycle. So it creates energy in the mitochondria.
Creates energy, Glynac. Also improves mitochondrial function, according to the Brave AI. That's good. And enhancing your physical performance, gait speed, muscle strength. Interesting. And memory and executive function, reducing inflammation. Gee, it sounds like it's really healthy for you. Amazing.
It is, and it's sweet.
It's sweet. Oh, my God. Glynac, glycine. All right. Well, thank you, Bob. You're a wealth of information here today. There's a Psychology Today article on how the Japanese are finding success in reducing train suicides by having blue lighting in the stations, that the soothing color has a positive effect in preventing suicides.
Really? I thought blue light is what you wanted to screen yourself from. I thought blue light was what keeps you up at night. And people try and sell special glasses, right? You get blue light from your screens. Is this different from the kind of light you're getting from your computer screens?
What it is it makes you awake. It makes the brain awake.
I see.
Because if you
Like the
have
sky.
those blue blocker glasses, I find myself getting a little drowsy at night when I'm looking at screens.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess there must be some kind of stimulation in the brain so that they don't want to commit suicide. We have to figure out what the connection is, but that's my guess.
Well, let's see. The placement of mood lighting in Japanese train stations began back in 2009, where the East Japan Railway Company acted after their railway line's suicide rate had increased from 42 in 2007 to 68 in 2009. So they installed these special blue lights above the platforms in 29 of their stations. Blue is considered calming, the sea, the sky. So they tried to think that that would soothe anyone who might be distressed. So they hung these at the end of each platform, which is usually the most isolated and least trafficked in a train station. And they're most likely areas, I might add, but that's where people throw themselves in front of the train, where there's fewer people at the beginning or the end of it. Because everywhere else, the lights are brighter, the fluorescent lights are tougher. So they bathed the platforms at the ends in blue light. And they found that over a 10-year period, they saw a decrease in suicide attempts by 84%.
Wow, that's pretty significant.
Yeah, where the lights were in place. So that's an argument in favor of mood lighting for regulating your impulses.
I suppose
suicide
if it's
ones also,
causative,
so,
if
yeah.
that's the cause of the decreased suicides.
An analysis of 971 suicides in Japan, that a high proportion of them occurred on cloudy and rainy days.
Oh, really? When the sun is not shining, that's a good day for suicide?
Well, it's more depressing, right? So the environment.
I guess if it's a gray day as opposed to a blue sky day.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, you're less likely to commit suicide on a sunny day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And they say that installing these blue lights is relatively cheap. They spend $165,000 for all those lights.
That's just on the one line, though.
$165,000 compares to, they have other approaches. They have suicide barriers that are taking place, and those cost like almost $5 billion because they have 243 train stations. So barriers are expensive, but lights are cheap. So consider that. A lot of places might want to start with the lights if they want to try to reduce their suicide
Well,
instances.
it's very interesting to hear people legitimizing things like color for health effects, right? For being able to shift your mood. I think that's fascinating.
Yeah.
What came out in CES was the least expensive way to have mood lighting and change it from red to blue in your living room or any bedroom you want. Is you just go to IKEA, and they have light bulbs from $6 to like $12 of varying brightness, and you can remotely control these.
From your phone?
From your phone. If you get a Matter Bridge controller, it can automate your whole house and figure out all your old automated stuff and bring them into this Matter network.
Yeah, the Matter network on IKEA. Yeah, you were talking about that last week. I think the IKEA network looks pretty inexpensive and pretty sophisticated for what you're getting. Most bang for your buck. Home controller systems.
For $150, you have a home security system that automate your lights and figures out if your doors are open or closed or if your air conditioning's up or down.
Or in this case, if you just wanted to just do mood lighting, you could just do that too, right?
Yeah. You could just talk to your phone and say, hey, turn the mood blue, or whatever, and it would do it.
Yeah.
And it can figure out what your old lights, if you had Govee lights or something, it will integrate those into the IKEA lights. So they're all talking together. They were very dispersed and didn't talk to each other before, but now they can integrate together.
Is that you're going to put one together?
For like $100, you could do that. It's really crazy.
Just run right to Palo Alto and get one.
Yeah. Or you can order it online.
Can you? Yeah. Are you going to get them yourself? You're going to try it?
Absolutely. That's what I'm getting this week. Yeah.
Oh, should have told us you wanted that. We were going to get you your birthday present. Okay. Oh, man. Okay, so mood lighting, remote control, and blue lighting in train stations. There must be colors that create even happiness. 2 minutes left. Oh, my goodness. Okay. Well, I just wanted to mention a couple things. We would recommend seeing the latest Elizabeth April report on Coming from Love and Not Fear.
Oh, yes.
Yes, the chosen ones.
The Galactic Federation wants all of us light beings to know that there'll be a lot of shadow work ahead and we should choose love and not fear.
Yeah, that's the...
In a nutshell.
15-second download on that, but you can watch her. She's pretty.
She's very pretty.
She's Canadian, too.
She's Canadian.
Yeah, she's Canadian,
Yeah, and she has makeup on this week and a really sexy outfit.
Yeah,
she's got a friend who's helping her with her look on YouTube.
Yeah.
Her makeup. It's just like, she looks like a model now.
As beautiful as she truly
Elizabeth
is.
April. And she's going to be in L.A. on a book tour later this month, so it's here in person. And our other favorite women YouTubers is Cleo Abram, and she has a really cool video on the craziest experiment humans have ever built.
And what is that?
That's the amazing story of LIGO, the Laser Interferometer Gravitational Wave Observatory.
Oh, so you're going to have to go online to hear that
amazing
one.
Story.
Oh, she's the physics girl.
That's right, physics.
That's right.
She's another
huge, if true.
gorgeous woman with a brilliant.
And on that note, everybody, it's time to say goodbye.
And Ellie Cordova. We love Ellie, too.
Thank you, Ellie.
Thanks for the Roswell song. And thank you all for listening, folks. Appreciate your attention. Thank you, Mrs. Future. Thank you, Bobby. Thank you, Aura.
And thank you, everybody listening. Have a great future now, everybody.
Bye for now.